Brandon's mom totally freaks out for absolutely no reason, and she even admitted to being jealous of Brandon and Julia's relationship on the last episode of 90 Day Fiance. Guys, so much random crap and complaining happened in the last episode of 90 Day Fiance that I'm going to talk about in a couple of seconds. But first, we have to talk about this weird dynamic and relationship, at least in my opinion, with Brandon and Julia and his two parents. Because on the last episode, Brandon and Julia, they've been having this stupid bedroom issue. Finally, I think they've kind of just resolved the issue, and she's going to stay here, he's going to stay there. Finally, that was their big stupid issue. Finally, they kind of, just they let that one go, kind of, somewhat, sort of. But they ended up meeting up with Brandon's grandpa, and on the way to the dinner with his grandpa, Brandon and Julia did God knows what, and she came here with a little something something on her neck, and just like that, once Brandon's mom saw it, she got upset, she started freaking out, and that is kind of understandable, not really, but kind of, somewhat, sort of. But then they dropped the huge news, I guess it's not even that huge, but they dropped the news that Brandon and Julia have selected a wedding date of May 9th, which apparently is like Mother's Day weekend, and oh my god, the mom got so mad. Now, I know a lot of you followers, not all of them, but some of you guys are moms, so if you are a mom, you could probably understand and relate more to this, so please comment below. I am so curious what you guys think of this, but when I first saw this, they said the date in Brandon was just like, yeah, May 9th, and they had a reasoning behind the date. The reasoning was that's when Brandon first messaged Julia, blah, 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 whatever. So there's kind of a reasoning to the 9th date. I don't know why they can't do April 9th, but either way, they want to do May 9th, and oh my god, she was so mad. She was saying, no, 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 you have to do May 2nd. You cannot do Mother's Day weekend. That is my weekend, and we cannot share this. And I sat there thinking, well, can't they just split it? Like, okay, Sunday might be for Mother's Day, and the other day, Saturday, is for the wedding, or vice versa, whatever. Why is this such a big deal? And is it just me, or is the mom totally overreacting? And now I'm kind of even thinking she's borderline jealous. So definitely comment below, but like I said, I thought she was jealous, but then after the episode of 90 Day Fiance, we basically just confirmed she was jealous, because after the episode of 90 Day Fiance, we got to see just a snippet of 90 Day Bears All. That is the new Discovery Plus show for 90 Day Fiance, and guess who was on it? Brandon and his two parents. And in that little snippet of an episode, Sean, the host of the show, asked the mom, all these fans are saying that you are jealous of Brandon and Julia's relationship, and she asked her, are you jealous? And the mom just said, no, 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 I'm not jealous of Julia, I'm just jealous that now I can't spend as much time with Brandon because of Julia. And once again, I sat there thinking, okay, wait, so you're jealous of Julia? Like, that doesn't even make any sense. So comment below. I honestly really feel like they could totally split up that May 9th date. It wasn't that big of a deal, but the mom, for some reason, was totally freaking out. So more on Brandon and Julia in a couple of seconds, but now I want to go over to kind of an interesting couple, also a nagging, constantly complaining couple, because I kind of forgot to mention in the last episode, Julia was constantly complaining. She worked on the farm, she hated it. She couldn't, stay with Brandon, she hated it. She was constantly complaining, but more on them in a couple of seconds. Now I want to talk about Mike and Natalie, because same thing with Julia and Brandon. Natalie is constantly complaining, and I have never seen someone, besides maybe Brandon's mom, that wants to control someone as much as Natalie. We have seen all of these little things here and there where she's complaining, the city's too small, there's not enough shopping, there's not a big enough city, the house is, too small, it's too cold. Okay, we've heard this constant complaining from Natalie. I get it, different country, different scenery, it's new, but geez, she's complaining an awful lot, don't you guys think? Well, to be honest, this last episode only really got worse, because now Mike is really kind of trying to bend over backwards. He's trying to do anything he can possibly do to keep Natalie happy, and nothing is working. So he's showing her around. She's not really excited. He ends up having to take off some time of work at the weekend to take her like 2 or 3 hours away to a waterfall, which looked amazingly incredible. She wanted to go there. He ends up getting a hotel. They go out to dinner, and what does Natalie do? She complains, and she complains, and she complains. First off, she does not want him eating any meat. meat. Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, come on. The guy's a meat eater. He wants to eat meat. He wanted to get a steak. Natalie wasn't happy, but he got his steak. She was complaining, and she was nudging and pointing and saying you shouldn't be doing that. And for some reason, they kind of agreed to go on like a no meat thing. But then the next day, he got meat again, and then that is when she got really, really, really mad. And if that was not enough for y'all, when he was getting a drink, he said, I'll take, I don't even know, beer or something. And then Natalie said, no, I don't want you drinking. I don't want you having anything at all to drink. And then Mike was like, why? He's just casually sitting there. Like, it'd be one thing if he had a problem, but as far as you and I can see on this show, he doesn't. So if he wants to sit there and drink whatever he wants to drink, so be it. And then the next day, he ends up getting a root beer float for dinner, which is just ice cream and a soda. And of course, Natalie hears that and goes, oh my God, what's in it? I don't trust it. And she thought there was like alcohol in it. And it's like, no, it is a root beer float. And she was complaining and complaining and complaining. And finally, Mike was just like, if you aren't going to trust me, this relationship will not work. I mean, she is crazy. I don't know if I'm the only one. Maybe you guys are going to totally disagree and tear me up in the comments, but it's like, she's crazy. Why is she constantly complaining? If she hates this place or this country or this city so much, girl, move. Get the heck out of here and leave Mike alone. He is already in, financial distress because of you. And now he's already taken her to 2 hotels. They're going out to eat a ton, at least a decent amount, it seems. It's like, geez, let this guy just try to, pay off his debt and be there and support him. But instead, she's doing the polar opposite. And she just keeps telling him, if you love me and if you respect me, you will basically not drink and then not eat meat, which is like, really? That's how he has to show you his respect, is by not eating meat? Come on. That is a bunch of stupid BS in my eyes, but definitely make sure to comment below. So more on them in a little bit. Now let's go over to Yara and Joey. And if the complaining train was not enough for you with Julia and Natalie, Yara's right there in line because she is just complaining. The only thing I will say about Yara is we got to see a snippet of a different side of her last night when Joey bought her an iPhone. But first, they were complaining about the furniture. She wanted this. She wanted a rug. She wanted that. So Joey just finally just said, okay, here, I'll buy you a stupid white rug. He bought it. It came. She was happy for, about 2 seconds. And then she goes, she tells Joey, hey, you cannot wear your shoes around the rug that you just bought with your own money. And if I was him and I bought it with my own money, I would just say, no, look, I'm a shoe wearer. I like wearing my shoes. I don't care if it's gross. I like wearing shoes. I would say if I bought that rug with my money, I don't care, Yara. That is the deal. You can buy your own rug with your own money, and then I won't step on it with my shoes because it is your rug. But this rug is my rug with my money, even though they're kind of getting married, whatever. But she was complaining and complaining and complaining and complaining. And finally, Joey walked in his bedroom, grabbed a brand new iPhone, God knows what, iPhone 10 or something, that probably cost about $1,000, and handed it to her. And okay, now look who's Miss Happy Sunshine and, sunshine and rainbows. And she did a 360 and she's so happy, calling him the best boyfriend, even though they're engaged, but he's calling him the best boyfriend ever, and she's so happy. And, it'd be one thing if he got her, like, flowers and she was that happy. He bought her an $1,000 iPhone. It's like, what does he have to do? Spend $1,000 every time she wants to be happy? So I really honestly did not like that. I think I liked seeing Yara be a little bit more upbeat and happy and positive. So I want to see these two work, but it's like, geez, if he has to buy her something every time to make her happy, in my eyes, that's not a good sign of a real relationship. Then they go out to dinner, and guess what happens? Yara starts hysterically crying. She was complaining about not knowing anyone and just a million different things. How he has to go to work and how can they raise a kid if he has to go to work for a month and then be back for a month, and she was constantly complaining. My comment is just, okay, Yara, when you can, get a job. And then he can maybe get a different job and then problem solved. But I guarantee if you told Yara you have to either get a job or shut your trap, she'll probably just want to keep on complaining. I don't think she wants to get a job anytime soon. I don't think she does anything. Maybe she's like a, I don't even know, a model or something. I have no idea. But she was complaining. And then they brought up the topic of them losing their baby. That was honestly kind of just sad, touchy. I don't really even want to comment. I don't want to, hey, that was a very sad topic. And we kind of learned more about it. They were traveling. I think they were in Albania when they learned that Yara did lose the baby. So they had to go to a doctor, and then she lost her passport, and then he had to go to work. And it was kind of a sticky, weird situation. I did actually kind of feel bad for Yara in that situation because no one deserves to go through that. But I will say, besides all of that stuff, she was being annoying and she was complaining a heck of a lot. Oh, and then we saw about a snippet of Stephanie. Now, keep in mind, we have not seen Ryan. Ryan is the guy that is with Stephanie and Belize. We have not heard him talk on, like, actual camera or anything, so we don't know anything about this guy. But Stephanie, who is from great old Grand Rapids, Michigan, yeah, we saw her. And oh my god, just when you thought this girl could not get more dumb, she did it. She became more dumb in this last episode. What happened was she was talking to her cousins. Okay, they were having girl talk. They were gossiping. And we already know, let me just say, that in the last episode, Stephanie did admit that she had a romantic one-night relationship with Ryan's cousin. So keep that in the back of your head, please. But in this episode, she's having girl talk with her relatives, and she comes out and says that now she is actually paying Ryan's salary. And you're probably sitting there saying, what? But what happened was, because of all the stay-at-home stuff, it's affecting everyone around the world, including at resorts. And so he's in Belize. He was working at a resort, but the resort, I guess, was practically like shut down. And apparently Stephanie knows the owner of this resort. So she got him a job, but guess who is footing this bill? Stephanie. So he is working at this resort, but probably doing next to nothing. And then Stephanie's actually paying his salary. And she said that she's giving him anywhere from like $500 to $1,300 a month, which, I mean, hey, if you are rich, like it really appears Stephanie is, that's not probably going to bankrupt her or anything. It's not, whatever. But still, $1,300 a month at most, whatever, 12, 15 grand plus a year. It's just, it's stupid. I mean, it's like, that just goes to show, would he be there for her if she was not giving him 15 grand a year? Likely, probably not. And the worst thing is, she's probably giving him a heck of a lot more money indirectly because she did admit that she's buying him gifts and things like that. So it's probably a lot more than 15 grand, probably closer to 30, maybe even more per $1,000 per year. So, I mean, come on, she's totally getting used. And when she admitted that she's paying his salary, her relatives were just like, oh my god, what is wrong with you? You gotta be gullible. That is all I'm gonna say to fall for that. But anyway, now let's go over to a weird couple. That is Tariq and Hazel. I'm honestly kind of curious what y'all think of them. They are an odd one, let me just say. They really don't seem to have much of a real relationship. I've been saying this all season. Hazel has come out as being bi. She likes men. She likes women. Now I'm starting to kind of think she's a little bit more on the women, side, because it's like she really does not seem to be into Tariq at all. I could be judgy, I could be wrong, but she really just seems like she's grasping at straws, and she is incredibly desperate to come to America and eventually have her son come to America too, and that's really it. So I'm watching this thinking, geez, she really doesn't seem to like him. Like, they went out to breakfast, they were talking, they really weren't talking about much of anything too, drastic or important or anything. She wants to get married in a, I guess, somewhat of a religious Christian church, and he wants to get married at somewhat of like a spiritual center. So they're kind of off there. The only thing I'm curious about is Tariq has a daughter that has special needs. I am very curious to see how Hazel interacts with his daughter, if they get along, if they can have that mother-daughter relationship, which kind of sounds weird because she will be the step-parent technically, but it's still like Tariq really wants her to step up and be that, motherly type woman, and I don't really think Hazel wants to be. I don't want to judge her or anything, but even an interesting note is she does have a son. She did leave him there, and some would say, if you did have that huge motherly heart, you probably wouldn't just jump up and leave your son that soon, but she could have other plans if she's going to bring him here. There's a lot of other possibilities. I don't want to judge too much, but I will say she didn't seem super enthusiastic to meet Tariq's daughter, at all, honestly. She seemed nervous, she seemed kind of scared, so I'm curious to see how that's going to go, but Tariq and Hazel, they were kind of going back and forth, being a little bit annoying. That was really it. I will say, though, as a diabetic, Tariq is on his way to just, living the life of a type 2 diabetic. I mean, if that guy is not pre-diabetic, because number one, he has gained a bunch of weight. Number two, in the last episode, they were eating, waffles and fried chicken with a ton of syrup, which is loaded in sugar, and just a ton of French toast, and a bunch of stuff that is not good for your sugar levels. And yeah, he is on the road of probably type 2 diabetes if he does not slow his roll. And even Hazel Hazel was like, why are you eating all this crap? This is so sweet. And yeah, he was eating a lot. I will give him credit that he was trying to show Hazel the American, breakfast, American lifestyle. I get it, but geez, Tariq, you gotta slow your roll. And then there was the hilarious, the awkward, the cringy Rebecca and Zed. And did I also say stupid? Because you could probably throw in that word stupid with that couple too. I'm starting to kind of like Zed. Now, I know you guys are going to say, oh my god, you're so dumb and gullible. I feel like Zed is actually like an older soul. He is kind of mature. I think he's totally using Rebecca to come to America. Let me just say, I do think he finds her relatively attractive enough, and he will probably honestly stay married to her. That I do think. But I think he has a temper and, everything else. But for some reason, I kind of like the guy. In the last episode, he was leaving his family. That was sad. That was a real emotional, I was even sitting there going, God, this just sucks. I hate airport, goodbyes. I freaking hate that. The mom's crying. The dad was even like crying. The sister was crying. He brought his best friend. He was even kind of teary-eyed. It was an emotional thing. So that kind of got me all up in my feelings, and then he left, and we got to see that he made it to America. So hey, sunshine, rainbows, we're partying, we're having a good time. And Rebecca was there with her daughter and her daughter's boyfriend, who apparently absolutely hates Zed. They're similar in age, and there was some controversy that Zed thought that Rebecca's daughter's boyfriend or fiance was gonna have a crush on Rebecca. I know that is just so stupid, but either way, that was kind of his, I guess, thought process. So there was some tension, there was some beef, a little bit of awkwardness. I mean, they both seem like guys that have just, they have that fiery kind of personality. They probably won't be best friends. That's all I'm going to say. But anyway, and then we got to see Rebecca on the other side, and she was trying to get her apartment ready. Typical Rebecca. To be completely honest, just a typical Rebecca situation. Here, Zed comes, her apartment isn't ready, she has no furniture, she has nothing in there, and I think it'll be kind of cool to see Rebecca and Zed. They can make the place their own, but it's still like, what have you been doing? What is going on? The place was completely empty, and like the bed was on the ground. I was just like, what is wrong with you, Rebecca? I feel like everything with Rebecca is always just so dramatic and slow, and it's always some big controversy, and it's always some drama, and I'm just watching this thinking like, what the heck is wrong with you? And we did not get to see Amira and My Guy that, would move heaven and earth for her, who I just was lying on my floor crying. I guess they were not in the episode, boo-hoo. I think what's actually happening with them is it does sound like Amira got detained. She cannot leave. And so I think what happened was they just don't have much footage. She doesn't have her phone. He was probably filming himself as much as he could. And so I think they did not get a lot of footage, and likely we're not going to see a ton of them. They'll probably just come in bits and pieces, because a lot of the other couples like Yara and Joey, they were filmed before all this craziness even started. So they probably have a lot of footage stored up. As someone like, Amira, My Guy, they probably don't have as much. And I'm excited to see what happens. We did see My Guy, who I am just like such an idiot. I'm blanking on this guy's name, and I feel so bad because he followed me on Instagram, and I feel like a complete, you know what. So anyway, I'm sorry. I really apologize, but for the life of me, I cannot think of his name. So we'll just call him My Guy. But anyway, My Guy was talking to Amira's dad, who already could not stand him, and it was not looking good. Amira's dad looked really upset and mad, and yeah, I just think this relationship, I think it's gonna go to rock bottom. I do not think it's going to go well. And like I said at the beginning of this video, we did get to see a snippet of 90 Day Bears All, which is on the new Discovery Plus app. So yay, that was cool. I'm going to sign up for the app today. I think it's like $5, $6, $7, $8. I'm going to sign up today, and I probably got like 15, 20 messages about this topic, so I just want to answer it all. If you guys are still here and you live in Canada or overseas, you guys, sadly, boo-hoo, I'm sorry, you guys cannot get it. Only people in the US, the extended US or whatever, can get it. If you are in Canada, if you are in Europe, it doesn't sound like, actually I'm like 100% confident, you can't get Discovery Plus yet, so maybe in the future. So if you are overseas, I know a lot of you guys kind of are in Canada or overseas, I'm sorry, but I will be buying it. I will let you guys know what the heck is going on, so don't worry. So that was about it. Last episode was just drama, 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 a lot of emotions, honestly, a lot of drama, a lot of complaining. Kind of annoyed me, but it was still a pretty solid episode. So definitely make sure to comment below, let me know what you guys think. If you enjoyed this video, it would mean the world to me if you could hit that like button, hit the comments below, hit the subscribe button, and y'all better stay tuned for many more videos.